Welcome to Center Hice Productions. This is a couple hours after the Tuesday night game with the Wild in town to visit the Montreal Canadiens. Game ended up 5-2, very lopsided. That score almost looks a little closer than what the game was because the Wild were all over us. We played poorly in our own end. Our defense wasn't going well. Our goaltending wasn't going well. Uh, Montembeault was very out of place in that net, and there could have been a couple more goals on him. There was one that, thank God, Matheson tucked it into his pad because it was headed in net as well because Monty didn't know where it was. Anyway, 5-2 score. They came at us very quickly. Um, we'll start first period, and we were on the power play. 9:20, Brandon Durham, assisted by Jake Middleton. Shorthanded goal. And then 9:25 seconds later, 9:45, Connor Dewar, unassisted shorthanded goal. Second period started 2 minutes and 17 seconds in. Joel Eriksson Ek, assisted by Zuccarello and Kaprizov on the power play. And then 9:47, Tanner Pearson finally scored a beautiful unassisted goal. What a beautiful shot. He was one of our best players tonight. I probably put him as the best for us tonight. And then at 17:22, uh, the Wild scored again. It was Kaprizov assisted by Zaccarello and Addison on the power play. Then we went in, so it was 4-1 at that point. Then Eriksson scores again in the third period at 5:20, assisted by Kaprizov and Zuccarello on the power play again. And finally, we got a goal at 17:35 towards the end of the period by Alex Newhook, who worked hard, assisted by David Savard and Cole Caulfield. And that was the first moment that you started seeing Cole Caulfield being noticeable, was at the end of the third period. Not a good game by him. Horrible game by, and the same thing with Suzuki. For these two being our leaders, where our offensive punch is going to come, they got to wake up because they haven't been at that level they should be at yet anyway in the season. But this was by far their worst showing. They at least had better moments in the other two games. This game, they were unnoticeable. And it was sad because Harvey Pinard was working his tush off and was probably the next best guy to Pearson. Uh, yeah, really. Newhook was putting the effort out there. However, he was failing in the circle badly. So I don't think he's cut out for the center role. Sorry to say that. Not on the second line anyway. Um, I think you got to put him back on the wing and do what I was thinking would be better as Monahan would settle that down and get him and Slav back in a groove. Newhook put the effort out. Slav had moments but became undisciplined. Uh, didn't have an outrageously bad game, but nothing spectacular either. But so this did affect that line drastically. Pearson was a big plus there. Uh, he kind of did all right there. I was kind of surprised, but I still think Pearson should be on the third or first line, one of the two. I think you got to put Newhook, Slav, and Monahan on that in the center role. And you can move up Evans to third line center with Pearson and maybe Pinard or Anderson and Pinard, and then you can slide over Yulon to the center role, keep that on left, and bring up Waugh and sit Galley. If Galley's done, put him in development to help the guys develop. If you're going to do something positive for the Habs, but overall, uh, these the placement of Montembeault was not good. He actually kind of reminded me of how Primos was playing before. He just and going to his knees far too quick, losing track of the net a bit, not cutting off plays as players are cutting through his crease area. He's got to get more involved and he's got to track those pucks and He's got to cover them much better. He's leaving a lot of loose pucks in front of that net. And he's got to start handling that better. He looks like Marshmallow Man, as we were calling him when he first came to Montreal. He's back to that role. He's not at Monty from last year. So, really, the goaltending situation, there's no clear winner at this point. But for anybody to spin Monty's tires, yes, our defense played bad tonight, but so did he. They could have helped each other. So really, our defensive pairings got to be worked on. They're just not working out with what we've seen tonight. Kovacevic, he didn't have a strong game, and we had errors from Jacki and Gooley. But however, that goal that went off of Jacki would have never gone in had Monty gotten that puck, which he could have got that puck and settled it down. And he's had an error now 3 times straight. This is including training camp. He bobbled it with Harris in one game, and I believe it was against Ottawa in preseason. Then he's done it. The ricochet goal off of Cooley's skates. He could have tracked that as a goaltender. If you're involved in hockey, he could have got that one. And so that was the second time it happened, and tonight was the bobble with him and Jacki. Pizzetta woke up and tried to inject the line. He was unnoticeable for a while, but until the first fight. But then he started throwing the weight a little bit and tried it again to inject the Habs. But this was just a really poor showing defensively, and our penalty kill was atrocious for something we were doing. At least we were doing all right on the penalty kill. Our power play stinks, still stinks even worse. Was atrocious. And I think they just keep using the wrong guys a little far too often. I don't think Galley's meant to be on a power play. I don't think Anderson belongs on the power play. Simple. I'm sorry, they just don't seem to suit well. And I think as good as Matheson is, I think you got to give a little more time to Jacki on that point. We're burning up a lot of time with Matheson, and nothing's getting done overall. And I think at least Jacki fires the puck at the net. But overall, this has got to change. Let's hope it does in the next game on Saturday coming up. So thank you. Where's the puck drop first here at Center Hice? It was a very boring game. Went exactly how I thought it would go. Let's hope this is not going to be an entire season. Otherwise, we will be bottom 5 if it's played like this. All right, thank you for joining me. Please hit the likes and subscribes and leave your opinions. I'd be very interested in them, and I appreciate your support. Thank you for joining me. We'll catch you in the next game, and after the Saturday game, we'll review.